Where we have a story where Wetang'ula tells of police over killing. Now, yesterday we had an article where Wetang'ula had mentioned apparently he was going to name the killers of Jacob Juma during the funeral. And of course, that brought about questions as to why he wants to announce it at the funeral as opposed to, going to the police and, maybe making a statement if he knows who the killers are.
But the Inspector General of Police and the other detectives have been very funny because Jacob Juma was a very controversial person. And if you just look at his Twitter accounts or Facebook, he actually gave out the names of people he said he suspected wanted to kill him. And he gave a number of names, saying people are discussing me in a particular forum. And if the Inspector General was serious about this investigation, he probably needs to start with those names that have been mentioned and then, proceed with the investigation. So for him asking Honorable Wetang'ula to go and record a statement, I think he's shooting in the dark. Because anybody in Kenya with access to social media knows the people that Mr. Jacob Juma suspected or after his death.
And those he named. But don't you think that it's also right for him, especially being a leader, if indeed he knows who the killers are, what's the right thing to do? It's not to announce it at a funeral, because you have several dynamics there. One, you're also somewhat, how does the family view that person from there, if indeed he's going to name them, especially if there's no evidence yet?
You see, Moses Wetang'ula is a lawyer. So his words, I suspect they were carefully weighed. But he was not addressing the investigative agencies. He was addressing a political constituency. So, all politicians across, if it starts raining, they want to make a political capital. If there's a crisis somewhere, they want to make political capital. And you remember in the US, they say, Emmanuel, who was a chief of staff to Clinton, he said, you cannot let a crisis go into West. So these politicians, especially from the quad wing of the Kenyan political system, they're trying to make a lot of political capital from Jacob Juma's death, of course at the expense of their family. So Wetang'ula, I suspect, he was not addressing maybe the investigative agencies. He was looking at the Luhya votes in Western Kenya.
Wow.
Yeah.